over here at HTM Sports, and we're reporting live over here at the channel. Thought I'd go live for a little bit, give y'all some quality Cowboy content before the night's over with. You know, it's 10:47 over here in my part of the world. You know, might be a little bit later where y'all at, a little bit earlier. Don't even matter. It's a Friday. Y'all ain't got nothing to do. You might as well tap in with your boy. So as y'all can tell by the title, I said Wagner on the way with a question mark. We're gonna talk about Zeke's contract. You know, we got the news that Dallas Cowboys actually reached out to Bobby Wagner. So we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss Zeke's contract. We're going to discuss other offseason moves and possibilities. And, you know, we're just going to chop it up for a little bit, man. I'm going to give y'all about an hour of content and I'm going to shut it down. Hey, Jeffrey Lombardi, what's up with you, man? I appreciate you for tapping in with me over here at HTM Sports. How you doing tonight, brother? How are you doing, my guy? So, yeah, you know, it's been a very eventful day, man. It's been a very eventful day. Dallas Cowboys finding money. Dallas Cowboys calling Pro Bowl linebackers, Dallas Cowboys. So, you know, I'm happy. I'm excited. You know, we're making moves. So, you know, that's all I ever asked Dallas Cowboys to do is make moves to be competitive. And so far, they're doing so. So, Tavis Banks, what's up with you, man? Kevin Calloway, what's up with you, bro? Big Bud, the Cowboys for life. What's up with you, man? So, Wagner D-Hop going to Dallas. Don't know. Possibility. I know one thing I do know, they're not going to Houston. I know that. If I don't know anything else, I know they are not going to Houston. All right, let's see. He said Arizona just released Marcus Golden. Yeah, man, a bunch of folks are unemployed right now, man. A lot of folks are going to be on the streets looking for employment. And, you know, they're good enough. You know, they should be Dallas Cowboys, right? Like, we trying to get the best team humanly possible. I do not care what their name is or what their background is. If they can still play football, I want them. C. Burleson, what's up with you, man? So, yeah, we're going to jump right into it, dog. I'm going to show y'all the report. I'm going to give you my feelings. I'm going to let y'all know how I really feel about the matter. So, man, let's start. Let's jump right into it. So, here is the report, as you see on the screen. And the initial source of this content was Jordan Schultz. So salute to him. He do be on ESPN. He's supposed to be a football insider. And it was also reported on by Mike Fisher as well. So Bobby Wagner is receiving interest from several teams, including the Seahawks, Chargers, and the Dallas Cowboys. Right? So there it is. And remember, Bobby Wagner is a free agent. I actually looked up because I thought, you know, when I initially looked at this, like, there's no way in hell they could have talked to him because, you know, I thought that was tampering. Well, it seems it's actually like the tampering rules only apply to players that are currently on teams. Because what I did not know, like, they said, well, yeah, like, people, like, you know, I used to think like the suspension that Tom Brady got, well, not the suspension, but the forfeit of picks from Miami for the Tom Brady, you know, tampering, it actually happened all the way back when he was with the Patriots. It just finally caught up to them. So the reason that they lost picks because they tried to talk to Tom Brady before the trade deadline while he was still a New England Patriot. So you actually can talk to any free agent, right? It's not actually tampering. You just cannot talk to guys that are under contract or anything like that, or impending free agents. If they're already on the open market free, you actually can talk to them. So it wouldn't actually be considered tampering. So, you know, because of that, this report, I can believe it. Right? There is a specific time frame. Hold on. Hey, let me give a shout out to DC4 LifeX for the $5 donation. I appreciate you for the support, brother. I always thank you for the love and support, my guy. Also, if y'all are feeling generous, right? If y'all trying to do support the channel, try to help the channel grow, I'm finna drop the cash app. It's Hennythemoor, or $ Hennythemoor. I'm finna pin it to the top. Anybody that wants to send donation, all funds will be used to take my my black behind to Kansas City for the draft. So if you want to see us at the draft, donate to the cash app. All that money is going, you know, to that purpose. So yeah, and look, you already know my personal feelings about Bobby Wagner. Hey, what's up, Mr. Regina? I see you in here with me. Matt Baden, I appreciate you for tapping in, my guy. Hey, Kevin Calloway, I appreciate you for the $5 donation, my brother. Thank you so much for the love and support, man. Like, we're getting closer and closer, so like it's pretty much a done deal that we will be going. I already put my days in. Just keep sending, donating. Every little bit helps for the overall thing. Because I live in Texas, I will be flying out to Kansas City, Missouri, flying there, getting a hotel. No, we'll go in on a rental car. We'll be flying back. So those are all the little charges. So like I say, every little bit counts. I appreciate y'all for the support. And, we will be there going live, getting y'all the best quality content that we can. So salute to y'all for the continued support on the channel. And, we're going to continue doing our part and giving y'all exactly what y'all asked for. So, yeah, and again, y'all already know how I feel about Bobby Wagner. And it's not even really a debate. Like, Bobby Wagner wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. He just made an All-Pro selection last year. And for people that do not know the difference between a Pro Bowl and an All-Pro, like a Pro Bowl at this point is basically a popularity contest, right? It's like a third fan voting, like a third coaches vote, a third of player, like a third of it is like player vote. So like if you have enough fan votes, you can get into it. But with an All-Pro selection, the same people that vote on who deserves the MVP for the season are the same people that vote. Hey, Regina Green, I appreciate you for the $20 donation to the channel. Thank you for the love and support. I really appreciate that. Man. Like y'all are the ones that keep me going. So I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. Y'all been helping the page, the page grow. Y'all been helping out with everything. So I'm gonna keep going live as much as possible. I see that y'all been enjoying the shows, and because of that, I will continue to give y'all content as long as I can. I'll do 2, 3, 4 shows a day if I got to. That what it takes to keep y'all happy, and, to keep the page growing. So, I'm always come through and give y'all as much content as possible. But yeah, so like that's the key difference. Like the 50-man panel votes on the All-Pro selection. Like people like me, y'all in the chat, your neighbor across the street, like they're the main people that get people into the Pro Bowl. Hey, what's good with you, Cowboy fan 95? I appreciate you for tapping in with me. So yeah, so like it really is like a popularity vote. Because remember, like the Ravens had a backup quarterback get into the Pro Bowl, and he had more interceptions than touchdowns. So like the Pro Bowl is really watered down and don't count for too much. Benny Stanley, what's up with you, man? I appreciate you for tapping in with me. So yeah, so like All-Pro selection, that's next level stuff. So they think, because of their voting selection, they thought that Bobby Wagner was the second best linebacker in the National Football League last year. And he has the numbers and the production to really back that up. When you just break it down, you look at it. He had 140 total tackles that would have led our team. And he had 6 sacks that would have been like third or fourth on our team. So the man was just going crazy all last year. And a lot of fans, which I don't understand why, they're saying, well, Bobby's washed. Like there's no such thing as a guy being considered the second best linebacker in the league and then being washed the very next year. Even if he's not able to be the second best linebacker in the league, he will be the best pure linebacker on your team. Even if you sign him and he's not as good as he was last year, right? You can only go down to like Pro Bowl level from All-Pro. You don't just go from being that guy to being a crackhead. It don't work like that in the NFL. Like, people were talking about Tom Brady falling off a cliff, and that never actually really happened as he aged, right? He slowly diminished just a little bit, but he was still like a superb player because of all the game experience he had, to draw on. He knew the coverages. He was able to get the ball out, so on and so forth. And because Bobby Wagner is such a cerebral player, and the middle linebacker is the equivalent to the quarterback of the defense, like you can expect Bobby Wagner to still be a productive player for multiple seasons to go. So like Bobby Wagner, if we are able to get him, He's a guy that I don't even want to just sign for 1 year. Like, you just need to sign Bobby Wagner for like 3 or 4 years and keep him for the rest of his NFL career, because he's that good. Like, he's that good. Because remember, like, for a comparison, look at Sean Lee. Even when Sean Lee's body broke down and he wasn't able to move around at the same speed or pace as he did when he was a younger man, he was still getting his hands on balls. He was still making plays in the backfield, so on and so forth, because he knew, you know, how the coverages were supposed to be ran. He knew how offense were going to attack what they were running. Right, he was very cerebral. He was at the right place at the right time because he had good play recognition and good film study. So, and it's the same thing with a player, just like Bobby Wagner. Like, he has that in his tool belt. He started on 2 teams that made it to a Super Bowl, just made an All-Pro selection last year. So, I want him. And, just the fact that the Dallas Cowboys reached out to even inquire about Bobby Wagner, this is stepping in the right direction, right? Because normally, we be campaigning for these players, with the woo, this, that, and the fourth, and the Dallas Cowboys don't even have these guys on their radar. Like, they're trying to, like most of the time, like, we be having these guys. He said, "Why do you want Wagner when you got the Wolf Hunter?" Man, listen, Eastside Harold. You know Bobby Wagner better than Leighton Vander Esch. Quit playing with the church's money, boy. Like, it's not even a question. Like, listen, Leighton Vander Esch's mama would tell you that Bobby Wagner is the better player. No offense. I mean, that's really wild. I said something very disrespectful and then said no offense. But yeah, man, like, Leighton Vander Esch, he's cool. He's a decent player when he's healthy. But Bobby Wagner is a gold jacket type of player. Like, Bobby Wagner is going to make the NFL Hall of Fame when he calls it quits. So, I want that kind of leadership and pedigree to be leading my defense. And remember, like, Leighton Vander Esch is not even a true middle linebacker. Like, when he made his All-Pro selection, he was a weak side linebacker. Right? So that's not even his forte, trying to navigate the the stuff that they're trying to do on offense. He really doesn't excel at breaking down the play, getting guys lined up. When you're a middle linebacker, that's a big part of the job. Because remember, LVE was so like, he was so inept at doing that they had the safety with the green dot. Like, Jay Runkhurst was the one that had the green dot. So, like, Leighton Vander Esch was a middle linebacker that didn't even change the plays. Like, that was Jay Runkhurst's duty. Like, there's no way in hell Bobby Wagner is on this team and he is not the guy that had the green dot in his helmet to call the defensive audibles. Right? So you can't even sit here and bring up Leighton Vander Esch. I'm pretty sure he's a good person in person. I'm pretty sure he's a stand-up guy. I ain't never heard nothing crazy about him. So, I don't want any ill will towards him or anything bad to happen for him. But, if I can upgrade over that position, then, like, I kick him to the curb. I mean, like, and this is the thing. I'm not the person that gets too attached to players. Even like the players that I really, really like if it's better for the team to move on from said player, right, then I need that to happen. And Leighton Vander Esch, I think I'm actually a little bit higher on Leighton Vander Esch than some other people are, because I've been grading him on a curve this whole entire season anyway. I knew he wasn't a true middle linebacker. He was playing out of position, and because of that, he played better than I expected. So I gave him props for that. But we're in a situation where we don't have to have him play make believe, because he's a pretend middle linebacker. We can go get the real deal Holyfield right here without giving up any draft capital, without having to overpay, because Bobby Wagner only made $10 million last year. $10 million a year last year with what he was paying for. So yeah, hell no. Like, if Bobby Wagner is available, then you go get him. And to be honest with y'all, there's like 5 or 6 middle linebackers on the open market better than Leighton Vander Esch is right now. So, like, I really don't see a purpose having him. Yes, yes, he was. Back in 2018, Leighton Vander Esch was a first round pick. He was. And like Big Bud Cowboy said, Bobby Wagner can help our young linebackers. And not only that, Bobby Wagner can help your safety room. Right? J-Ron Curse, I just mentioned it. Like, he had the green dot. He was playing in the box almost exclusively, acting as a big nickels, like linebacker hybrid, calling the defensive audibles, getting guys lined up, so on and so forth. Now, Donovan Wilson didn't have the green dot, but he was also in the box a lot. So, because, of Bobby Wagner's presence, like, you can move Bobby Wagner to that middle linebacker, and, you can let J-Ron Curse and Donovan Wilson play more traditional safety, and that will save, some wear and tear on their bodies as the season goes on. Because, 17 games plus at bare minimum 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl, 4 if you're unlucky and, you don't get a first round bye. So, it is what it is. He said Cowboys have a theme for white linebackers that don't pan out. Well, it didn't pan out for Leighton Vander Esch. Sean Lee, he was real good when he was healthy. It's just Sean Lee, and it's the same. It's really the same thing with Sean Lee and Leighton Vander Esch. It's really injuries. I think a lot of us would appreciate Leighton Vander Esch a little bit more if he actually had a chance to consistently play. But, he missed a lot of time. He missed a lot of developmental reps. He missed a lot of key football. Also, he's playing out of position. So, I think he's giving us as much as we can actually expect from him. So, I have no problem with moving on for Leighton Vander Esch. Especially if Bobby Wagner, who is my first choice, at linebacker, is available. You go and do it, and you worry about the numbers later because you got salary cap now. And speaking of salary cap, the Dallas Cowboys, are still working to try and get a restructure done with one Ezekiel Elliott. Right? So according to that boy Calvin, the Dallas Cowboys are still, working with Ezekiel Elliott to get a contract restructure done. And, they trying to get to a number that makes sense for both parties. That's why it has not happened yet. That's why all the other moves, fell together first. But, it's still, a work in progress. It still is probably going to happen, in the next couple of days. So, just stay tuned for that. Hey, they already, pretty much showed their hand with the Ezekiel Elliott and Tyron Smith restructures. Right? My linebacker will be Wagner, Jack Campbell, Clerk. That's pretty good. Yeah. And I like the I like the measurables and the statistics behind Jack Campbell. So, we actually will look at Jack Campbell a little bit more in depth, before the draft start. But, on over here, we're going to really focus a lot more on free agency just because free agency starts next Wednesday. Right. And also, just for y'all who did not know, like I stated, free agency starts Wednesday, March the 15th. So be prepared for a flurry of free agent signings. A lot of this stuff is getting done right now, and it, they're just waiting to announce it, Wednesday. So I do not believe, that I'm gonna say this. Hey, what's up with you, Chris Hagan? I see you. The Cowboys right now on paper are doing the right thing. They're clearing space. They're restructuring the players they're supposed to restructure. They're keeping a bunch of veteran guys together. Even though I was initially opposed to bringing back Tyron Smith because we do lack depth, I understand why they are, going to work out a restructured deal to bring him back, right? Because we also, are moving to a run-dominant offense with what Schottenheimer likes to run. I also understand why they want to restructure and bring Ezekiel Elliott back. But, that's just the first step. The Dallas Cowboys, they're clearing a lot of space, but they need to use it. They're clearing a lot of space, but clearing a bunch of salary cap space means absolutely nothing if you don't go out into free agency and turn that salary cap space into, good players that can contribute to a Super Bowl run. He said, I would extend 88 to 7 now as well. Yeah, because it doesn't hurt at all. Extending either one of those guys is not going to really affect, the salary cap moving forward, because CeeDee Lamb has 2 years left on that deal, right? This is only his let me see, he came in 2020, 2021, 2022. So this is going to be CeeDee Lamb's 4th year. He has a 5th year option. So CeeDee Lamb was on the books for 2 more years. So giving him an extension, you're just going to be adding years to the end of the contract. It's not really going to affect the salary cap for this season. Same with Diggs. He has a year left on his contract. This is the final year of his contract. Giving him an extension with a nice little signing bonus attached to it, it's not going to really hurt the salary cap moving forward, because the biggest cap hits will be at the end of the contract, more than likely. So you can make it backloaded, for when the salary cap actually rises. So there's really no issue in re-signing CeeDee Lamb or Trayvon Diggs, because it does not really affect the salary cap that much. They are dragging their feet as if they don't know what they are going to do or can do. They need to clear space now and get on phones. I have been saying DA, but I think Gallup gets pay cut, we'll trade. Well, this is the thing. Like, they can restructure Michael Gallup's deal and save about $8 million. But if you cut Michael Gallup right now, let me see. Because I think it's a big cap hit if you cut or trade him right now. So let me take a look so I can give you the exact numbers on it. Because remember, over here, we like numbers. All right, so let's take a look. I got Michael Gallup pulled up. All right. So if Michael Gallup is cut this year, he has a dead money hit of $19 million. And you actually lose $5.1 million against the cap. If you cut Michael Gallup after June the 2nd, like after June's 1st, post June 1st, you got a dead money hit of $13 million and you only save $800,000. So it's not worth it. If you trade him, then you all right, if you trade him before, then you have $8 million in dead money, and then you lose $5.8 million against the cap. If you trade him after June the 1st, you have a dead money hit of $2 million, and you save $11 million. So, trading him is your only option. The problem is, because Michael Gallup played injured and has barely played the last 2 seasons, he does not have a lot of good tape out there. So, there is really no trade market for Michael Gallup right now. So, just saving a little $8 million just about on the restructure with him is your best option. Because next year, you still have an out in his contract. Like, next year is when Michael Gallup is a movable asset. He can be cut. You can save about $9.8 million as of today. He can be traded, and you save a significant amount of money. And, by then, hopefully this year he played better. And, he will have some kind of trade market. But, he said he's chilling, finna pull my namesake and roll on one. That's what's up, Swain. Hey, it's Friday, man. You ain't got no job yet to do. You might as well tap in, man. Might as well tap in while we talk numbers. Darren said he on the road from NC headed back to the DMV. Hey, you be safe on that road, my boy Darren. You be safe on that road out there, boy. Said let MG play a healthy season first. Yeah, because that's pretty much what it's gonna have to be. Hey, that's what it's gonna have to be, man. Like, he gonna have to play a healthy season. And if he doesn't play well, the Dallas Cowboys have a way to get rid of him. They have a built-in out, for the 2024 season. So, I've been saying the past couple shows, Michael Gallup is playing for his job. If he don't show up, he's gonna get showed the dough. And that may or may not be fair, but that is how life works a lot of times, man. Like if you do not show and prove, your value to a team or organization, they will replace you. And they have no qualms in doing so. So yeah, so we talked about Zeke's contract, and there are plenty of other roster moves that are supposed to be still in the work. Right? Tyron Smith is supposed to be getting restructured. It's a very good possibility that Jordan Lewis is a cap casualty, because you could save almost $5 million by cutting a cornerback that just lost his job. So when you look at it, like the Dallas Cowboys can probably clear they can probably clear damn near another $20 million with these other moves, right? You figure to save about $5-6 million by restructuring Zeke. You figure to save about $5-6 million by restructuring Tyron Smith. You save almost $5 million by cutting Jordan Lewis, right? So and if they are able to restructure Michael Gallup, they can save almost $8 million with that. So there's a lot of money that the Dallas Cowboys can still clear. So don't ever let them tell you they ain't got no damn cap money. They ain't got no space. There's not enough pie. It's a lie. It's a damn lie. Like they just don't want to spend the money, but they definitely will go on there, spend for what they want to spend for. So yeah, so don't believe the hype. Like there's still plenty of cap space. There's still plenty of pie. It is what it is. Let me see who's tapping in with me on Facebook. I see somebody watching from Facebook. Let me go over there so I can give him a shout out. I'm tapping in with the boy. Oh, Night Owl. Okay. That's my boy. Real good dude. But no. Free agency, man. We're gonna definitely have to, like I said, we're gonna definitely have to make some moves. And listen, I wonder what kind of dance Big Mike would hit to this music. Wild guess, I think he would bust out with a mean robot for some strange reason. Man, he probably would, Kinfo. Big Mike goofy. Like he's a wise guy. He the head of the family now. But like he's still goofy. But don't get it twisted. Big Mike will get you whacked. Like you better ask Hennythemoor. That boy body ain't turned up yet. I ain't even seen that man in LA yet. I ain't seen him say a word, boy. But yeah, so listen, when we go in here and we try to add the guys in free agency, I don't particularly care, about, how they're perceived by other fan bases, about if they're liked. Because listen here, Juju Smith-Schuster probably is not going to be a Kansas City Chief next year. And guess what? If he wants to be a Dallas Cowboy, I don't care about the TikToks. I don't care about him being childish. I don't care about him making fun of people and hurting their feelings. Like, listen, if Juju Smith-Schuster wants to be a damn Dallas Cowboy, then you let him be a Dallas Cowboy. Because let's be honest, I know people do not like Juju Smith-Schuster, but Juju, if he was on this team, would be the second best wide receiver that we had. Like he's better than the half of Michael Gallup we've been seeing running around. He's better than Noah Brown, better than T.Y. Hilton, better than Jalen Tolbert, damn sure better than Turpin. That boy can't even find a hole on a kickoff return. So say what you want about his character or whatever, what people say about the boy, but he can play football. And he's an improvement over what we have. And listen, same way that I said that Adam Thielen was not my first option when it came to free agent wide receivers, Juju Smith ain't my first option either. But I tell you this: if we swing and miss, we can't get DeAndre Hopkins, or we can't trade for Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton or any of these other guys, or we can't sign DJ Chark, another guy I've been campaigning for. Then I wouldn't mind bringing Juju in. And look, I'm gonna just bring up his numbers, right? I can what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? I can rationalize, bringing him in just based on his production, right? He had 78 catches, had 933 yards, averaged about 12 yards a catch, right? So that's better than what Adam Thielen did. And a lot of people were saying like they wouldn't mind having Adam Thielen. So if you're okay with Adam Thielen's production, then how can you not be okay with the production that Juju Smith-Schuster had? Because he had more yards, right? He averaged, more yards per catch, and he did all this in less games, right? Because Juju he missed a couple of games. I think Juju only played in let's see. Yeah, he only started 14 games last year. Yeah, Juju only had 14 starts. Missed a game because of injury. So I think Juju would be a good addition. He had a 77.2 catch percentage, so he wasn't dropping much of nothing. So I'm down for it. I don't care if he make TikToks or stupid sketches in his spare time. As long as he show up and go crazy, when it's time. He said, promote the dude. He owe you, Henny. What you talking about? You talking about Juju? Yeah, man. Yeah, hey. I'll be fine with Juju owing me. Because look, I don't care about nothing but winning. Listen, there's plenty of guys in the NFL that fake it. They fake it. Some guys just fake it better than others, right? There's plenty of guys in the NFL that aren't really good guys. There's plenty of guys in the NFL that are childish. There's plenty of guys that rub people the wrong way. I don't give a damn. I don't actually have to be in the room with Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't have to hang out with him, get along with him. So it is what it is. He said, as long as I owe you, you will never go broke. Facts. Hey, facts. Hey, as long as you got people that owe you money, man, you good. You just gotta make sure that you can collect when the time's right. He said, hey, how are you doing tonight? See, y'all be in the comment box, having a group text. I feel it though, man. It's part of the community. He danced on the star. So did T.O. T.O. went it, and T.O. did it worse. Like TD went down there. T.O. went down there, danced on the star. He said Juju and CD would have the coldest TD celebrations together. I do believe that too. Like I said, it'll be entertaining to have two personalities like that, man. He said Bruce with the toxic juice said he not even on TikTok, so he can't ignore him. Like, I ain't on TikTok either. So, I don't be tripping about what dudes do in their spare time, right? Because listen, I don't even really care about Boss Man Fat rap career, right? If he was actually playing good on the field and showing up and being productive, I would even bring that stuff up, right? I only care about what you do off the field if it's affecting how you play on the field. And him, being a nuisance has not affected his play. It has not affected his play at all. He said landlord said he on TikTok, but he ain't dancing. I'm showing the hell ain't dancing, boy. Nah. I say that for the kids, man. Unc body ain't supposed to move like that, man. Yeah, Unc body ain't supposed to move like that. But yeah, I take a flyer on Juju. And I don't think it'll be next level, break the bank money. Right. Let me see what his contract was this year. Because if he was barely making any money this year, he still ain't gonna make a ton of money next year. Because Juju paid for $3.7 million last year on a 1-year deal. All right, so Juju ain't even make no real money next year. You could offer Juju Smith-Schuster, like a 3-year $20 million deal or a 2-year 15 or whatever. You can offer him a multi-year deal. He's still only 27 years old. He has been productive in the past. He's seemed like he's gotten over his injury issue. And in Dallas, like I always like to gloat, like we got listen, man, we got a proven core of doctors. Like they award winning. Like how many teams can say they got an award winning medical staff? The Dallas Cowboys. That's who. Hey, facts, bro. We just post up on the wall and she do all the dancing. Hey, that's how I used to go to them old parties, man. Them high school parties back in the day. We need a wide receiver that has done it in the NFL before. No more hopium at the wide receiver position. People don't dance no more. All they do is this. Hey, what you know about that Goody Mob, man? What you know about that Goody Mob, boy? So yeah, man. But yeah, I definitely would bring the boy in. Cause listen, he fits the mold. He fits the mold with what the front office looking for. He'll be relatively cheap. He's still young. He's only 27 years old. He has playoff experience. Right? So he has everything you could even want or ask for. Right? He has every single thing you want. He check all the boxes. Young, has some explosive playmaking, playoff experience because he played in a Super Bowl. No other playoff appearances he made with Pittsburgh as well. Let's see. Like that's really what they want. If you cheap and it can suit up for the Dallas Cowboys, like you're Stephen Jones' friend. Stephen Jones wants you. Hey, y'all used to see them old posters of Uncle Sam pouring and talk about we want you. Like just imagine that being Stephen Jones just pouring at Juju Smith ass. Like you cheap, you used to get hurt all the time, and you young. Oh yeah. Yes, Stephen Jones wants you, boy. He said, come to Dallas, be all you can be. He said, straight up landlord. He said, damn, DC for life, we losing an hour. Y'all don't forget to set those clocks up tomorrow night. Spring forward already. Oh, man. We are losing an hour. But landlord, damn. You're right. And look, landlord, it don't even benefit you. Like, you're going to lose an hour and you ain't going to even be at work. Right? Because theoretically, your ass could have came home, an hour earlier if you was at work and the time change happened. Daisy Clark, what's up with you? I appreciate you for coming in and tapping in with me. He said we actually need 2 wide receivers, whether it's a proven vet and a high draft pick or 2 proven vets. Yeah, like I can live with bringing in multiple. Like we could bring in 3 wide receivers if we wanted, because Noah Brown and T.Y. Hilton ain't on the team, right? Then there's no telling if you really want to trust Jalen Tolbert, if you really want to trust Semi Fihoko or these other guys that you've been trying to develop. So, I don't know. I definitely would just go in with the guys that we have. That's a dumb way of roster building. And, I saw, a tweet when I was surfing earlier. They said, by the way, John Machado's talking, it seemed like the Dallas Cowboys are going to, trust their guys and expect Michael Gallup being healthy and Jalen Tolbert, stepping up to be their helping wide receiver. If that is even remotely true, that is the stupidest, most ill-informed decision that the Dallas Cowboys could make. if they're just going to run it back and hope that Michael Gallup is the player he was from 2 years ago, or if he was, or hope that Jalen Tolbert can take a jump after a year of you expecting him to take a jump, failed. That's bad. That's bad roster management. It is. And that is a move of a very unserious front office if they were to do that. Because theoretically, the only guy that really fits the West Coast system on your team, well, there's two of them. CeeDee Lamb fits the West Coast system, and Tony Pollard fits the West Coast system because he's a pass-catching back. But when you look around at all these other wide receivers, Michael Gallup is not really a wide receiver suited for the West Coast offense because he is more of a vertical threat. He's a guy you like to throw a go ball to. And when in the West Coast offense, you'll have a bunch of routes of guys trying to use their speed to run away from players. Right? You'll see a slant, you'll see an over, you'll see crossers. Those are like the key route concepts, outside of this offense. Like that doesn't really suit Michael Gallup, especially coming off of surgically repaired leg. So they really need to probably revamp, this wide receiving core. You need to bring in a speed guy. You need to bring in another wide receiver that is respectable. He does not have to be on CeeDee Lamb's level, but he has to be, better than Michael Gallup. We need a veteran leadership in the locker room. CeeDee and Gallup said that last year. And listen, the sad thing is the Dallas Cowboys had it in the form of Amari Cooper, and they let him, lead the building for a 5th round pick. So it's sad, man. Like the Dallas Cowboys really made a hole that we have not filled, in the last season or so. We drafted Jalen Tolbert. That did not pan out. Noah Brown was average. Let's be honest. Like he was average. He played the best football of his life, and he was still average. Michael Gallup, when he's injured, is average, and he was injured. So, we had nothing. Like, remember, Dalton Schultz, the tight end who's finna leave, was your second leading receiver. So you ain't getting nothing from your wide receiving core outside of CeeDee Lamb. And the tragedy is that did not even have to be the case. We could have still fielded one of the best wide receiving cores in the NFL just by keeping Amari Cooper and letting Michael Gallup walk. That's not what we did, and we're paying for it. Chris said he really didn't want to sign Gallup, but Dak did like him from the start. He may want to try to keep him, but Noah Brown, I haven't seen much. Nah, Noah Brown up here throwing laterals for pick sixes and stuff. So like, yeah, he can be able to next thing smoking. Like for real, because listen, the man is a career special teams player. And they forced him to be your number 2, number 3 receiver for a majority of the season. That was stupid. And the Dallas Cowboys do a lot of stupid. Yeah, the entire wide receiving room said Amari Cooper made them better. CeeDee Lamb vocally said that he did not want Amari Cooper to go. I used to see the clips of him, asking Amari Cooper about releases and running routes and things like that. I think he picked up a little bit of it too, because CeeDee Lamb has gotten better as a route runner, no lie. Like he's getting hella separation. Tolbert is a 3rd round pick from South Alabama. The Joneses propped him up to deflect from the terrible Cooper trade. They unfairly put higher expectations. Yeah. Like listen. Like Jalen Tolbert, should not have been viewed as a savior as a 3rd round pick. Let's just tell you how bad the Dallas Cowboys mismanaged wide receiver. Like they try to hype up James Washington and they try to hype up Jalen Tolbert. Right? That's what they did. They tried to sell you on a guy who really was a buzz in James Washington, and then they tried to sell you on Jalen Tolbert, who was a rookie from South Alabama, who barely played any NFL caliber players in college. And that's what they sold you on. That's really what they went out there and did. That's the product they put on the field. It wasn't blue magic. It was stepped on. I repeat, it was not blue magic. It was stepped on. Remember, they was trying to sell Lamb. Then Amari first practice, 88 was asking for pointers and staring in awe. And yeah, I remember that. Matter of fact, I think that's the same practice that I was referencing earlier. Yeah, because CeeDee Lamb was a dog. And that he was highly respected in that locker room. It was just us as the fans listening to these bull narratives that the Joneses in the front office were trying to put out. Yeah, like nobody thought much of James Washington. No offense to the man as a human being or a person, but as a football player, he underperformed. Wish nothing for the best for him going forward, but I'm glad that he will not be a Dallas Cowboy next year. So, with that, being said, we can finally address the wide receiver position and hopefully bring in some adequate talent for what we want to run. So, let's segue a little bit further, man. There have been a slew of cuts. Like, there's been a slew of players getting cut, getting released, so on and so forth. It's free agency. So a bunch of stuff is going on. So let's just take a look. All right. So this is a player that actually intrigued me when he got cut. Shaquille Griffin, cornerback from the Jacksonville Jaguars, recently got cut. And he might be a guy that we can target to bring in, to fill the cornerback 2 position. And this is, remember, they're twins. This is the one that plays corner. He has a brother who is a pass rusher. So let's take a look at Shaquille's statistics. Because, I know his name. I know he's been pretty decent at the different points of his career. So let me take a look at the boy. He did not grade out particularly high last year. So that might be why he would end up on the cutting floor. So let's take a look. All right. Overall, he graded out as a 61.8, which is failing. Yeah, I don't think I like him as a prospect. Now, he actually did pretty decent. Pretty decent. All right. He was targeted 32 times, allowed 22 receptions, allowed 3 touchdowns. Damn. Never mind. Well, don't think I want him. Let me just go ahead and stop myself. He said, "Look at him under Pete Carey." Yeah, I remember we beat them when he was with the Seattle Seahawks. He was with the Seattle Seahawks in 2018. He was playing, in the playoff game, and Michael Gallup caught a touchdown over him in the end zone. So I remember Shaquille Griffin. But I'm looking at his total body of work right now. His best year, he graded out as a coverage guy as a 76, and that was in 2019. I see a 63 in here, a 51, 76, a 63, a 71, a 61. So, he's been very up and down. And he has allowed, let's see, he has allowed a reception rate of 60% or better since 2018. I don't know. I'm on the fence with him. Beggars really can't be choosers because there aren't going to be that many. No, there ain't going to be that many defensive backs on the roster, right? Hey, let me take the time out to give Barry to say thank you to Barry Birdwell for the $10 donation. I appreciate you for the love and support, and I thank you, man. Like I said, y'all wanted to keep me going. Your support, really actually fuels the show. because a lot of the equipment that I have is because of what y'all sent. So I appreciate y'all, and I will make sure that this goes toward our Kansas City fund. That was you, B Bird. I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, bro. So yeah, listen, and I get there will not be a lot of great cornerbacks on the market, right? But considering what we have, Shaquille Griffin is definitely an upgrade over Nashawn Wright. He has proven that so far. He's an upgrade over Boss Man Fat, Kelvin Joseph. So, and Anthony Brown's hurt. He ruptured his Achilles. I don't know when he'll be back. He's not under contract. That's in the air. That's all in the air. So I have no idea what will happen with Anthony Brown. But just looking at the cornerback position, like he would be a decent number 2. Because I don't need him. Well, shoot. I keep trying to sell myself that he's decent. He did have 3 sacks, this and that. But when he was targeted, he allowed 125 passer rating. Like when he was being targeted, quarterbacks were damn near perfect. It seemed like he got picked on. That's why, I'm not surprised that he got cut. Because the numbers right here are just screaming. They just screaming that he was getting bullied, picked on, harassed, destroyed. So I don't know. Listen. No, coming out, I like them, but the numbers are what the numbers are. I know I really look at the numbers live with y'all, right? So that when I actually see them, you get my real feedback, my real reaction. Like I really was hoping to see better numbers from him, but his advanced numbers are not real good. He has not graded out well as a coverage guy in the past couple of seasons. He allowed 125 passer rating when people was targeting him. And to give up 3 touchdowns in under 40 targets is sort of alarming. Like he only got targeted 32 times, and he still gave up 3 touchdowns. So that's not a good rate, especially if he was a guy that would have had to play more snaps. So I don't really know how I feel about that. But, beggars cannot be choosers. I'm not looking at him as a savior. But, I'm not really sure if he's worth bringing in. Yeah, like Matt said, trash. Trash. All right, let's take a look at another guy that recently got released to see if he's worth anything. It's going to be one Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby was just recently released. Bradley Roby is actually more of a slot corner. He can be moved around the field. But let's take a look at the boy Bradley Roby. So Bradley Roby is actually from Fort Worth, Texas to start. Hold on. Am I looking at the right person? I could have swore that this boy got waived. Bear with me. I gotta check some. I gotta double check that. Let's see. Okay. That's what I was wrong at. It was Ronald Darby who got released, not Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby is actually with the Saints right now. Okay, so let's take a look at Ronald Darby. See, I knew that didn't look right. All right, so let's take a look at Ronald Darby. I give Quinn a chance with what We can't get better. All right. And if you are one, and you think the name sound familiar, Ronald Darby did have a stint with the Philadelphia Eagles. So Ronald Darby was drafted in 2015. He is a former second-round pick. Stands at 5'11", 193 pounds. Ran a 4.38 at the combine, and is from Florida State. Last year, he had 12 tackles, not a single interception, 20 targets, 10 receptions allowed. So that's a 50% rate right there. Overall, he graded out as a 71.1. Run defense, 86.5. Pass rush, 60. Coverage grade was a 66.3. This boy a safety or an actual cornerback? Let me take a look. We got him listed as a cornerback. Okay. So did he get hurt last year or something? Because he does not have a lot of snaps. He only had 280 total snaps last year. Only 172 coverage. And he had 107 against the run. So did he get hurt last year? Gene Jones said the music is lovely. I appreciate that. I don't know. Did Ronald Darby get hurt? You know, I want to critique the boy, but if he got hurt and didn't play, then I don't know what to do with that. Let me see how many games the boy played. Now, see, he only played 5 games last year. I don't know if that was because of injury or what, but he only played 5 games last year. So let me see. Did he get injured? I think the boy might have tore his ACL. If that's true, then no. Ronald Darby tore his ACL in October. So I think I'll be out on Ronald Darby just because we just saw what a player looked like fresh off an ACL. So no. Even though he has some pedigree to him, having played in the Super Bowl and won. Yeah, it is a vibe, man. It is a straight vibe. So yeah. Nah, I have to be out on Ronald Darby just based on the injury. We already have an injured player that didn't give us what we expected, so I don't want to bring in another one. So I have to pass on Ronald Darby. So yeah, there've been a lot of cuts, a lot of things happening. I will put together a list and go more in depth at a later date. Cameron Sutton. Let's check out Cameron Sutton real quick. Okay. 5'11". Drafted in 2017. Okay. Let's take a look at Cameron Sutton's stats. See what he did. Much better production. So Cameron Sutton had 37 solo tackles last season. He had 3 interceptions, which was tied with a lot of guys for 9th in the league. He was targeted 71 times. He only allowed 36 receptions. That was 63rd in the league. That's pretty good. And he graded out with a passing grade in every stat that mattered. His overall grade for the 2022 season was a 71.6. His run defense was ranked as a 73.6. His coverage was ranked as a 70.4. as a pass rusher, he was a 37.7, which I do not care about a cornerback that can rush the passer and get sacks. Like, that means absolutely nothing. And when targeted, he had a passer rating of only 69.6, which is atrocious for a quarterback. So he was not giving up a lot of plays or a lot of yardage, apparently. All right, let's take a look. He only gave up 411 yards. All right. 132 was yards after the catch. The longest play he allowed was 32 yards, and he only gave up 4 touchdowns in a full season worth of games. So he graced out a lot better than these other guys did. I'll tell you that much. Well, you know, I do think Cameron Sutton is going to be one of the more coveted free agent defensive backs. So let me just take a look at what his market rate is supposed to be. Market value. Let's see his market value. All right, he has a projected market value of about $7.5 million. I would do that in a heartbeat. Yeah, they say a deal like 3 years, $22.9 million is what he would require to get him a Georgia Dispo track. So I can definitely see him getting that kind of money. I would not be upset with paying him that kind of money because I think, you know, as a cornerback, he's worth it. Like, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's not the best cornerback in the world, but he is definitely better than everybody on our roster, and he graded out pretty good. So yeah, I definitely would take a look at Cameron Sutton in free agency. But yo, man, I spent an hour on here with y'all. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. I've been a little bit under the weather, so I'm finna go medicate and rest for a little bit. But I will be back live tomorrow. I have to actually go in the morning and get another bulb because my stage light that I usually have on blew out. So I'm gonna run to the store, get one in the morning, be back to go live around the regular time, around noonish my time. I'll be back live again tomorrow. So again, I thank y'all for your love, continued support, and please continue to like, share, subscribe to the page, and I do appreciate y'all. So good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow.